Alrighty then. MLH here. It's a leisurely Sunday, 20th of August, 2023. Wait for a few people to get on in, then we'll get started with what we need to get started here. With hope everybody's having a great weekend. Ah, oh man. Okay. We got we've got some discussing to do, y'all. All right, let me go to the comments here. Grams, good morning. Russell, good morning. Pamela Dixon from Lexington, good morning. Gorf from Detroit, welcome. Mike Stevens, welcome. You got arrested while Bernie is working. How dare you, keeper? Welcome on in. King Solomon, welcome on in, buddy. Glad you're here. Uh, there's, you know what? I'm going to, Jonathan, good morning. Nice to have you in here, man. Uh, keeper, you're something else. Love you though, man. Unindoctrinated, welcome. I'm gonna post the link in case anybody wants to join the stream. If there's any shenanigans, like porn bombing or anything, I will immediately stop the stream and delete it. So, if you're planning on doing any of that, please don't. Don't do it. It's not cool. Uh, Hold on a second here. I've got to go to my channel and look at chat there and pin that comment. So bear with me. All right, let's pin this. There you go. It has been a while, Jonathan. Glad you're here. Ellie, good morning. Nice to have you here as always. Bernie might have to leave work early. No, she doesn't get off until I believe 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So there you go. All right. What else do we got here? Somebody was from Tennessee. Oh, Julianne Reyes, welcome from Tennessee. Tennessee's good country over there, real pretty, Juliana. I want to visit at some point. Nashville, all that stuff. All right. Let's hit you with some loud music here. I'll try to lower it a little bit so it doesn't blast your ears. All right, welcome everybody to I guess an impromptu MLH show. Alex09, Frog UK has paperwork. Frog UK has a lot of paperwork on a lot of people. Alex09. Brandon Mitchell, welcome. Nice to have you here. Welcome to an impromptu edition of the channel show, whatever you want to call this. But we're going to be discussing an arrest that happened last night south of where I'm at. I'm up in Denver. I don't exactly know where 4Corner, formerly known, I believe, as 4Corners Audits, was arrested last night. I saw a small clip. People have been asking me about it, but there's a couple reasons why I want to do this this particular show. And there's a bunch of things to talk about here. Like I said, I only saw a small clip. Context is everything, so we need to go through this and look at the video and decide for ourselves, was this a justifiable arrest? Was it not, et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna go on record right now, just from what I've seen. I may change my mind at the end of this, but I don't think it was justified. Um, and I think there may be a lawsuit impending. Whatever. But that's what we're here for. We're here to brainstorm. We're here to look at this arrest and decide whether or not this was justified or not. Like I said, my initial impressions, and this is not being biased. Jen, welcome. Nice to have you in here. um it's not, I don't want to show any bias because I'm part of the community or anything of that nature. I always call things as I see them. And but like I said, right now my feeling is that this was not a justified arrest. But I could change my mind as we watch this. I'm gonna I want full context, but I also don't want to watch this whole video, so I'm going to um fast forward a little bit into the video. We want to get to the crux of it, why what happened, et cetera, et cetera. Keeper impromptu. Yes, you're wearing clothes because Bernie isn't here. Um, yeah, this isn't a hot tub for sure. All right, let's you know what? Let's without further ado, let's get into the video. Ellie, I know you haven't seen the arrest yet. The link is pinned. If anybody wants to join, feel free to come on in. I always like bouncing ideas off of others and understanding, all that stuff. Yeah, Jen says, "Does his video have chat yet?" I don't know. Let's take a look. No, it doesn't. Does not have chat yet, so we can't see what the chatters were talking about just yet. I was kind of hoping for that, Jen, but it's not there. But like I said, let's take a peek, see what happens. Now, I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to find the point where the cops contact, and then I'm going to go back probably 5 minutes or so we can get um, so we can get full context as to what happened. Okay. So it's my understanding that 4 Corners was in a park after hours, which I think is the dumbest thing. Why is there rules against going into a park that we pay for at any hour? You know what I mean? Like during the day, it's not patrolled by police. It's not. There's no security there. Why are we not allowed to go into parks after say 10 o'clock? I mean, I know that the dark is scary and all that dumb nonsense, but I mean, come on, man. Parks are supposed to be for everybody, and I think they should be available to everybody at all times. Now, if you're just camping there, that's one thing. I mean, I guess I would take exception to everybody camping in a park, although arguments against that too. John Eagle, welcome to chat, man. Nice to have you here. Urban or rural park keeper? I believe it's a urban keeper. Uh, I fought and won those rules. Brandon Mitchell says, "Good for you, man." All right, let's get into the video. Like I said, I'm gonna fast forward. We don't we don't oh, look, it almost happens right away. So let's go back here. We'll start playing this, and then if we need more context, we'll rewind. But I think this may be as much context as we're gonna get.
The skate park on this and over here. He's got his tab open and his unit running. Oh shoot! No, he didn't.
Okay, so I'm assuming. I mean, there's only 3 minutes before this, and it was just walking. I'm assuming that 4 Corners spotted this vehicle from a distance and is walking over to it. It's my assumption. Could be wrong. let's get into it.
Right, Jimmy?
Yes, he was live, Ellie.
I say he's walking around down here somewhere because this is the east end of the park.
What's up, Strange? Nice to have you in here.
This is this type Bay Brookside Park with there's a swimming pool here, basketball goal next to it. Just real quick, hey, cultural transparency. How you doing?
Cops really hate it when you're recording them on the side of the road doing nothing. Just for my context here.
Bob? Who's Bob? Just, you know, okay. No, he's not in the unit. Jimmy Russell. He's out in the
Oh, that's a special twist. The officer wasn't even in the vehicle. Okay.
out somewhere. He got his unit running and his tab open. There's probably another unit.
Okay, so before we go in more into this video, I'm getting a fuller picture now. That's the part to the right of the camera. Let me rewind a little bit here, so you can clearly see. Hold on. Let's oh. I'm trying to get it to the right spot. Okay, there we go. No, why is it? Okay. Well, anyways, you'll see it. It's to the right of the camera. That's where the um, park is, and obviously he's not in the park at the moment. He's on a public sidewalk. So there you go. Maybe we should watch it in two times. Jen, would you guys mind if I did that? Right spot. There you go, Jen. It's Four Corners in Colorado, or three. I believe Four Corners is in Colorado strictly. I don't know. I don't exactly know where whereabouts, but he's way south of where I'm at for sure.
One of his partners. He gave
Let's go to two times speed.
oh, yeah.
Here's a pro tip for anybody doing lives. I don't care if it's in the 1A community or any other community. Get a windscreen for your mic. If it's just a phone, you can get an attachable mic with a windscreen. Helps a lot.
That's the tab open. Once he sees me walking around the unit, he's butthurt.
Oh, okay. So here's another point before I mean, this is a minor point compared to the arrest, but it's not incumbent upon the public to worry about what officers are looking at on that screen there. And I've caught several officers. You guys have seen in my lives several times where I can get information from these. And this is also for the cops that are watching too, because I know the cops watch my lives either during my lives or after. It's not too hard to just fold that down so the public can't see. If you guys are so concerned about the public looking at the screen there, just fold it down. It's not that hard. It's a laptop. It's easy to do. Get off the screen so nobody knows what is going on. I mean, you guys are super secretive anyways, so here we go.
How's the live, y'all? Live too? Yeah, we can hear that one.
Papa, welcome. Air cooled, welcome. Oh, Farmington. Tapa says Farmington. So yeah, pretty close anyways. Navin, welcome.
That's some flashlight down here.
Okay, so That's cutting through the park, I believe. There is what he's doing there.
And Cat watches live earlier. I don't know if he's still live.
And now he's going back. Okay. Hold on. I wanted to address something. Farmington, New Mexico. The New Mexico cops are super, super bad. They don't get enough in the way of attention going their way because it's it's not really thought of as like a major, other than maybe Albuquerque, maybe Santa Fe, but uh, Farmington is on the res. Very familiar with Farmington's near my brother's house. Strange says. Well, then maybe we'll lean on you for some info here. Strange.
Can you talk?
One. By the way, once we get to the cop interaction, I'm going to go regular speed here.
Thought I seen flashlights down here. Guess not. The hardcore casual.
Now, I don't know all of the laws in New Mexico, but they take a cue from Colorado, as do the surrounding states. Like the only one that doesn't really follow Colorado's lead on things, there's actually two that don't. It's Wyoming and Arizona, but Kansas a lot of times will kind of follow Colorado's lead. Nebraska, Oklahoma, and in certain things. So I know the laws in New Mexico are very similar, even though I'm not super familiar with them.
Right, Jimmy Russell. But he's got his unit running in his tab open. Guess for one another, guys, share each other's links, moderators. There he is. No.
Yeah, the 4 Corners is the only place in the United States where it's an exact corner. The only place in the United States.
Got a backpack on. There you go. Good, yourself?
Good. What you doing?
Public tour.
Take a public tour?
Yeah.
All right, sponsor face off Jones.
Hold on. I got to go full speed because something very important there. Let's go normal, and let's rewind just a little bit here. All right, here we go.
Oh, that was got a backpack on. There you go.
How's it going?
Good, yourself?
Good. What you doing?
Public tour.
Taking a public tour?
Yeah.
All right, so Officer Fresh off Jones. The park's closed at 10, right?
At 10?
Yes, sir.
No,
it's
I
almost
know.
11.
Right on.
Cool.
Okay, so here's where we get into it here. Parks closing at 10. Why are the parks closed at all? Is my first kind of thing. 710, welcome. Phyllis, welcome. Nice to have you. I'm glad you're here. We're discussing the arrest of 4 Corners last night. There are a couple things that I want to address after we watch this video, but let's continue on here. And he's already said that he was taking a public tour. The officer said that the park closes at 10. Okay, great. Okay. Denver in a couple weeks, standing tall. Great. Maybe we'll get a chance to meet each other. 710. It'd be really cool.
Do you have any intentions staying in the park any longer, or are you leaving?
I'm leaving here.
Okay, sounds good, sir.
All right, perfect. He's leaving.
Well, like I said, park closed at 10, okay?
Yeah. Get your name and badge number.
George Officer Frazier.
You got a business card?
No, sir.
No, you don't want to give a business card?
No, sir. I don't
No.
have a reason to.
Yeah, it's your policy.
No, it's not, sir. So if you want, you can do the park.
It actually is his policy. I'm pretty sure every police department, it's a policy to give your business card.
Or I can ID you for trespassing, okay? So offside
You get a business card?
I don't have a business card.
You want to?
Now look, this is almost an impossible situation, and this is the part where I picked up right before. And this is why I tend to think that this is an unlawful arrest. They obviously didn't give him a free path to exit. Like they were standing right in front of him. I mean, that's very intimidating, right? What are you supposed to do? Run through the officers?
Bully people, huh?
I'm bullying you, sir.
Yeah, I know. Now
Okay.
you just let me know. I know now.
Sir, please leave the property, okay? Or I'm going to cite
This
you
is a
for
private
trespassing.
sidewalk, right?
This is Brookside Park. Park's closed at 10. It is 11 o'clock at night. This is your second warning, and I'm IDing you for trespassing.
Here's a public park.
It's
I mean, a
parking
public
lot at
sidewalk.
Brookside Park, sir. Yeah, the public park, or the public sidewalk's open.
Right here, this is all public.
This is part of Brookside.
So they're really not giving him a chance. They gave him a second warning on what? I mean, he's trying to figure things out here. So it would have been better if the cops would have been a little more helpful.
Right here.
Yeah, this is public. This is all public. We pay for these. We pay for these sidewalks. It's an easement. You guys don't understand that?
Mr. Chief, I'm going to ask you once. Please leave.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
You threatened me with a warrant. I mean,
I just simply told you that you're
Trespass?
trespassing in the park, okay?
yeah.
I don't want to
I
give you a
got it.
citation, so please just go back to
You can get trespassed from a public park. That's new on me. I mean, I know you can get a ticket for being there after 10, but is it really trespassing? That's a question.
business. So I'm going to make sure that you leave the park.
Why are you worried about? I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm just keeping you guys transparent and accountable, making sure you guys do your job correctly.
100%. There's nothing wrong with it. What is wrong right now is you are trespassing in the street.
No, I'm not. I'm just feeling really. Let me get your unit number again.
So here's a question that I have for you guys. It's okay for the police to be in there because I've seen them in parks in Denver and Aurora past 10 just sitting there, doing their reports or whatever. It's okay for them to do it, but it's not okay for the member of the public to do it. So
Right ahead. More than welcome to report whatever you like, Mr. Chief.
How do you guys know my name? You guys have private meetings about me, don't you? May I get your name again?
Officer Jones.
Officer Jones, you don't have a business card?
I don't have a business card. Officer Jones.
That's not. Yeah. You guys are bullies. You guys know that? You know steer me?
yeah, welcome.
Sitting?
Okay.
Wait, get in your vehicle. I'm just keeping an eye on you guys. You don't have to follow me around.
Okay. So have a wonderful night, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're dismissed.
As you, sir. Have a good night, okay?
As are you, sir. How condescending is that? No police officer has a right to dismiss the public. That's very disrespectful. We definitely have the right to dismiss them when we're not breaking the law, right?
Where did you say the park the property ends at? You guys are. This is an easement.
Public sidewalk along South.
This is a public sidewalk too.
Justin right there, sir. Okay.
Yeah, that sidewalk he can be on too. I'm pretty sure. Good point, 710. The only problem that I see here, he should have asked the question: am I being detained or am I free to go? And if they told him that he was free to go, then I would have said, okay, then I'm free to stay too, because there's nothing wrong with being on that sidewalk that the police officers are on, right? Like that's a thorough way. You have a right to go from point A to point B, regardless if it's attached to that park or not. So I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one, but let's continue here.
Okay. So if I said I have to tell you one more time, I'm going to cite you for trespassing in the city park. Do you understand?
I'm leaving. Did you hear me? I'm leaving. No more threats.
I'm not threatening, sir. I'm simply stating a fact that you are completing.
I'm here on business under the First Amendment, keeping you guys accountable. Did you know it's constitutional protected activity?
Sir, are you going to leave the property?
I'm leaving. Get in your vehicle.
Yeah, there's nothing in the law that says you have to leave immediately. I mean, because people walk at different paces, right? I mean, you can't just say immediately, because immediately would be teleporting yourself out of there. You have to have a chance to walk, run, whatever, bike, You know, I mean, there's different paces as to when people leave. You know, he said several times he's leaving, but he's also keeping an eye on them, which I wouldn't trust these cops either.
Vehicle, then I'll leave.
No, you're trespassing in the park right now, so that's why I'm not letting you leave. Okay? So you're more than welcome to leave. I've given you numerous.
You are too.
Topher, welcome.
So what's your name? What's your name?
You just said it a little while ago.
What's your name? So like I said, I'm done at this point. Your warnings are over. You're trespassing in the city.
Get the light out of my face.
What's your name?
That's probably restraint.
If you don't stop and give me your name at this point, you're going to receive a trespass citation for trespassing in the city park. Walk to our car. You're going to receive a citation for trespassing in Brookside Park.
Now he wants him to walk back to his car, so he's keeping him there.
Come this way from me, okay?
Don't put your hands on me.
I'm not. If you walk back over there, okay? Give me a second.
Can you get your superior here?
Go right ahead that way, okay?
Can you get your superior here?
Walk that way.
Can you get
That's a reasonable request right there.
your superior here?
We got a sovereign citizen here trespassing at Brookside Park. Can you start us another, maybe a supervisor?
Well, wait a minute. Sovereign citizen. How does he know he's a sovereign citizen? That's completely insulting. Sovereign citizen? Where the fuck did that come from? He never said he was a sovereign citizen. Unbelievable.
We're going to issue a trespass citation because he's refusing to leave.
He never refused to leave, by the way. He not once refused to leave.
I wasn't refusing to leave. I was leaving.
That way, okay?
But you told me to come back.
Go that way, please. Go that way, please, sir.
Is that a lawful demand?
Yes, I'm telling you over here.
You want to go ahead? Tell me what to do. I can stand.
Okay. So, like I said, what's your name?
No,
Okay, so he wanted him to sit, which I, you know what? That's such a bullshit thing to ask somebody to sit down and so demeaning. You know, it puts you on a lower plane than the cops. I would never sit. I don't give a fuck. I'm not sitting. You know, you want to wrestle me to the ground and go and do what you got to do, but I'm not sitting. That's an unlawful order. I'm not sitting for you.
Okay, so when I contacted you, you're coming from the side of a public or a building.
Yeah,
which is
public
Brookside
building,
Park.
like
Right.
you just said.
But it is posted all around right here. Park is posted after 10 p.m. and right now it is 11:09. And when you walked up to me, it was probably about 10:50.
Bain Act is in California. Razor, welcome in. By the way, if you're just joining, we're watching the arrest of 4Corners.
So you're an hour past curfew.
You got your superior coming on the
They
way?
are coming. So like I said, what's your name, sir?
Get that light out of my face.
What's your name?
I'll give it the. I'll wait till your superior gets here.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
I'll wait till your superior gets here.
Sir, I think your actions are doing different.
We're
You're
gonna get
standing
this
here.
closer to the dust inside. So when your chances to leave and you failed to do so, I've been more than reasonable. Okay, so you're coming out of the park. It's clearly posted. Even at that, I could push the idling and loitering and plowing. You're around a closed building late at night, walking up in a suspicious manner, right?
I'm exercising.
Suspicious? What's suspicious about walking? I don't understand that. That's so dumb. 4Corners is probably gonna have a field day in court. I'm guessing.
Under the First Amendment.
You can point that camera all that you want me, sir. It's all good. Doesn't
That's
hurt
my right
it doesn't
to.
hurt my, it is. It doesn't hurt my
Get
feelings
that light out of my face.
whatsoever. No, it's for my
That's
safety.
probably
and yours.
restraint.
It's for my safety and yours. It's not in your eyes. It's down at your waist, making sure I can see your hands and lighten up the area so everyone feels safe.
It doesn't look like it's at his waist, to be honest with you. This cop's just being a jackass.
You got your
We're
ability.
losing.
You guys just like to bully with the badge.
Badge number and my name, and I gave it to you.
I understand that.
Right, and so, I'm trying to be as transparent with you.
Can't you
as
see I was
possible.
leaving?
Sir?
You were, sir.
You were standing still.
Shut your mouth.
Is that necessary?
That's quite welcome.
Shut the fuck up.
I've been very polite to you. That's fine.
No, he
like I said,
hasn't.
We're gonna
Okay,
go
hold
around
on.
super-
He just said something. I've been very polite to you. Calling somebody a sovereign citizen is a polite thing. What the hell is wrong with this guy, man? This guy is something
If I just
else.
come in.
Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna speak to him about. I was leaving.
I know you say you're leaving, but you weren't.
Yeah, you had a. Think you have.
There, he said it right there. That's probably gonna be used in court right there. You said you were leaving. Okay.
Authority to make people come and leave whenever you want.
Because you're trespassing in the park after 10, sir.
Hope it's not Stearman.
Hope it's not
Look at this.
Spearman.
You got a what?
All right, let's talk about this because Four Corners has history with Spearman.
1, 2, 3 more years just for a guy with the camera.
You asked for our supervisor.
Yeah, is he coming? Don't worry about it. You can be quiet now.
He's on
You
his
work
way.
for me.
Sir, like
He's
I
the
said,
superior.
but
You
at this point,
name and badge
I
number?
gave you numerous chances.
I'm not the spirit.
No, I get your name and badge number.
And you felt illegal.
You got a business card?
No.
Man, can you shut up and get that light out of my face?
It's not in your face, Mr. Chi.
That light is in his face. You can tell by the camera. You can totally tell.
You the superior?
No, sir.
Make it your name and badge number.
Good luck.
Good luck. Are you the one
So now they got 4 people here. What's up with that?
that killed Mr. Dutson? One of them? We gave you a gun back, huh? Man, all I was doing is just trying to keep you guys accountable. You know me, right? I seen you over at the Indian Center the other day. Don't put your hand on your gun. I'm not no threat. It's just a man with a camera. Man, you guys are bullies.
All right,
No one's
Sammy.
bullying, sir. You approached us while we're doing a close patrol, keeping the park safe at night.
You approached us? That's fucking rich, man. This guy, man. All he had to do was just basically not say anything. And I'm sure Four Corners would have left, no problem. But maybe took pictures of their car, which always gets them butthurt, you know.
Yeah,
Closes at 10. So we were just making sure nobody else was inside the park.
your superior on his way.
They are coming. Don't you worry.
All right, Nuts, welcome.
You gave me a business card, right? You give me a business card. Do you have a business card?
I don't have to give you one.
Yeah, you do. It's your policy.
Why are they so against giving people business cards? I don't understand. What's going on in New Mexico? Can't give a business card? That's fucking hard, really?
See how Chief Head, you know, you guys have no First Amendment training. What's the 5 elements under the First Amendment?
Not there.
Huh?
He doesn't have to answer that, and also he doesn't know the answer to that. Four Corners.
Well, yeah, walk them in static.
You know how many officers I've asked what the elements of the First Amendment are, and they don't know the answer. Or, can you recite your oath? None of them know. None of them know. K-Dot and I have asked several officers these questions, and they never know. This goes to training.
Welcome in.
Really.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes
Supervisor.
Supervisor Stearman. Yeah, he's a bully. Bully with the badge. Here comes Stearman again, guys, the YouTube star.
Hey, Heather, welcome on in. She says this is an update. It's there till Monday, obviously, because if you get arrested on the weekend, you're not going to be able to get any type of which that's another thing we can talk about. I don't think the court systems if you're going to arrest somebody on a Friday, why is it different than any other day of the week? It's we'll discuss. Let's just take a peek at the rest of this.
How you doing, Stearman? Yeah.
You're under arrest.
You're under arrest.
Hold on.
Wow.
Hold on. Let my weapon go. What am I doing?
And that's where it ends, folks. Okay. So there's lots to discuss here. Let me stop this screen here. All right. If anybody wants to come up, feel free to head on up. Look, here's my take on it. It's an unlawful arrest. They could have just cited him. What was the reason for the arrest? I mean, they didn't even give him a chance, right? They don't give you a chance. That supervisor arrested him like within 2 seconds. Totally unjustified, Brandon. But What were the trespassing, Fab Daddy? Trespassing on public in a public park. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we're discussing the arrest of 4 Corners last night in, I believe, Farmington, New Mexico. Um, you know, here comes. Hold on, let me get Ellie. Welcome to the stream. You there? We can't hear you, Ellie. You there? Hey, Ellie. Can't hear you. I'm gonna. There's nothing I can do. Can you hear me, Ellie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes. What are your thoughts, Ellie, on this? Because I got a few.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have a few things.
Yeah.
So the cop said that the signs are posted.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if they are or not posted.
Uh-huh.
But I have to lean on the side of they were not posted.
Right.
And I only say that because the cop just lied way too many times.
Yeah.
He said that 4 Corners approached him. Not true. You were at the top of the steps.
Yeah.
It's not like he could avoid you.
Right.
You said his name and then said, "What's your name?"
Right.
You said that a supervisor was on the way, but yet you arrested him before the supervisor even got there.
Well, no, they arrested him. The supervisor is the one that arrested him, the Spearman guy. I don't know if you saw that at the very end. The supervisor shows up. He gets briefed for like 30 seconds. 4 Corners goes up to him and then gets arrested by the supervisor, Spearman, which
And
they
then-
have history, by the way.
Well, here's my other thing.
Yeah.
What authority does that police officer have to trespass somebody versus to give them a citation if it is posted with a code, these are the hours. But
Right.
what authority does he have to actually trespass?
See, that's a good question, Ellie, because if you think about it, the officer said he was going to give him a citation. Then all of a sudden, the supervisor shows up and then arrest him.
Well, I have a feeling he was not arrested for trespass.
It's,
He's probably going to add a, failure to ID in there with that.
well,
Even though he knew
Heather called and said it was criminal trespass. That was the charge.
without another charge.
I don't know. I mean, Heather, if you're still in chat, let us know. But she said,
Well, then that doesn't make any sense because he agreed that 4 Corners was leaving because he said you said that.
Yep.
But there's no pace in which you can chart you're not moving fast enough.
Right. See, that's the point I made. See, and I've actually there's this there's a video I have where we ran into a couple officers that roughed KDOT and I up, where they put tape behind us, and then we were walking, and it wasn't fast enough for the officers, so they pushed us from behind, right? So, which there's all kinds of wrong with that, but the point I'm making is, like, people walk at different paces, right? I don't know if you guys have ever noticed when KDOT and I are walking, KDOT walks much faster than I do. He's lankier, right? He's taller. He's got longer legs. I have a bad back, so I tend to walk a little, at my own pace. I can't run. Hey, Heather, since you're in here, that's the only charge. Okay, she says that's the only charge. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm not familiar with the park. I don't know what the name of the park is, if anybody can look it up. But I also have more questions. I'm sorry. Does anybody think first maybe the cop's a little butthurt that he was out of his vehicle and 4 Corners posted that and he was someplace where he shouldn't be while his car was running?
That's a good possibility, Ellie. Either that or they saw 4 Corners and got out of the car and they lost track of him, and then they got caught with their pants down as he was coming back up. So then they, decided to act in the manner that they did, right? So.
And if that park is not closed off, with gates and things like that to where he went, then trespassing would be to be loitering and hanging around, not walking through. You can still do a walkthrough.
Yeah, see, we have many parks in Denver and Aurora, right, Ellie? I'm sure they do where in your neck of the woods, but but simply walking from point A to point B.
Just because you cut through
Right.
is not trespassing
No, because it's
within itself.
it's a
Correct.
public. Now you're not supposed to be in that park past 10, right? Usually that's the rules here at a lot of
Well,
public.
it's the park is closed. In my areas, when parks are closed, they're closed. Some of them are closed from sundown to sunup. Some are
Right.
closed at a specific time,
Right.
but they're closed to activities. They are not closed for where you cannot walk through them.
Right.
So if you need to get from A to B, and let's say you can cut out 5 blocks, you can certainly go through. They might not
Absolutely.
recommend it for safety issues, but they're not responsible for your safety. You're responsible for your own safety.
Cops are never responsible. That's Castle Rock versus Gonzalez. They're not. I mean, the Supreme Court has
Correct.
definitely ruled that they could see you dying in the middle of the street and they could walk on by and they wouldn't be responsible, right? I mean, that's just the way that it is. Now, I'm assuming most. I will give them a little bit of credit. If most will probably at least stop to assess the situation, they probably wouldn't help you, but it is what it is.
Well, and when he first told him that, you're trespassing, you need to leave, and he said, okay, I have a
Yeah.
feeling that if 4 Corners ran, then they would have said he was eluding police and he had suspicious activity because he was running.
Right. It's never a good idea to run. I don't but there's nothing illegal about running in itself, right? The act of running is not an act of suspicion.
Yeah, but who wants to take that chance when you're around people that have tasers and guns
Absolutely.
and handcuffs?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't take that chance.
I wouldn't either. Ellie and KDOT and I have told people that several times. We talk to young people all the time. Do not run at any. If a cop is in your presence, you just don't run. So wow. So I mean, it's funny. Current booking information. Okay. Let me go to.
And here's the thing. Did he have a watch? Did he know what time it was? How do you know he knows what time it is? I mean, he said it was 11, but I don't know if it was 11. I mean, 10 looks like 11.
Right.
There's nothing that says, hey, and he has to prove he even saw the sign.
Right.
Is it posted in one corner of this big, huge park, or at the entrance where you drive? And he wasn't driving through; he was walking through.
It's so funny. Like they're always that way. Hey Heather, did you send it to me in my email? Because I didn't get anything in my email.
Check your spam, MLH.
I did check the spam. Nothing in my spam either. Yeah, nothing in spam.
I just think that they were a little too quick on the draw for an arrest there, especially
Absolutely.
because for me personally, and I try to look at all sides, it didn't look like he was not leaving. It actually looked like he was walking away, because by the time he said, that he was already going to be under arrest and to walk back to his car, he was a pretty far distance from that car. So he was obviously leaving.
Right. Heather said she texted to me. Okay, cool, Heather. I don't have my phone exactly near me right at the moment. There's so many points to make here. The main point is like my initial reaction is absolutely right. I'm pretty sure 4 Corners is going to get all these charges dismissed. But look, you just took a man's freedom for the weekend.
Well,
right?
no. I don't agree with that statement at all.
What's that?
I don't think that the charges will be dismissed at all.
You think they're going to go all the way?
Absolutely. It's whether 4 Corners decides whether he wants to fight it or not. But there's too much egg on the face. And now you're holding him in jail for 3 days before he can go before a judge. There is no way they're going to drop that.
See, if this is me, I'm definitely taking,
because then you're going to get wrongful imprisonment, and they can't do that. They would rather go to court or make a deal than to handle a lawsuit. So I absolutely do not believe for 1 second that they are going to dismiss those charges.
It would be in their best interest, Ellie. To be honest, but here's the you know what? I don't want to put his name up on there, so I'll tell you, yeah, because there's some sensitive information here, but it goes through his. I mean, it's all public anyways. But I don't. I mean, I'm not in the.
Yeah, let's not be doxing anybody.
I'm not in the business of
Yeah,
doxing.
somebody else will do that, but
Yeah,
let's
that's.
not be part of it.
I'm not part of that. I don't do that. But he's being held at the San Juan County Adult Detention Center, and this is strange. Total bond amount $0.
That's because he's on a hold. You can't bond him out until he sees the judge.
Wow, that's crazy.
His bond won't be listed until Monday,
All right.
which he could get released on his own recognizance. I mean, I don't know what his history is. It's none of my business.
I don't think
We're only evaluating this situation.
Right. I don't think Four Corners has a history. I don't believe he does. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, most auditors have something in their past. I happen to be an exception to that rule, but yeah.
No, it wasn't private Fab Daddy. It's a public park owned by the city and the taxpayers.
Yeah. Does he have to see a judge on the res? No. He has to see a judge for Farmington, New Mexico, Harry. So it's a strange one, Ellie.
But hold on, let's be honest. The RAS really doesn't mean anything because it's how the prosecutor is going to interpret it and what he tells the judge. The judge doesn't really need to see the evidence. He just needs to hear this man say, this is what it is. And then he says, okay, this is the bond.
Right.
So let's be honest. RAS isn't going to be important in this. It should be. I agree, but it's not going to be, sadly.
He's talking about res, like as in reservation, because that's reservation territory there.
I don't know if it's a that kind of a park or not. I not from what the cop said, but then again, I can't believe what the cop said because.
And I know the cop is so stupid. I
mean, he's already lied. I mean, to be honest, I was watching the screen. I had it on full screen, and I was blinded by the flashlight. So I can only imagine that he was.
Right, and that's what I was saying. He absolutely was having that flashlight a little bit too high. They don't here in Colorado. They don't have the Bain Act like they do in California, but there is something similar here where you're not supposed to. They do it all the time. I have one of my top, I guess, watch videos is of these cops flashing their lights and KDOT in my eyes, like while we're trying to figure out what's going on at a traffic stop. But they get away with it all the time. We filed the complaint, all that. It doesn't matter unless we took them to court. It would be, and then by that time you're spending a lot of money for what, I mean, that's where they get you. So something interesting, Strange says here, if he is native, yes. So here's the thing. And I think that's why the cops, I don't know Four Corners personally, but he may be native. So that's where the reservation stuff comes in and the sovereign citizen stuff comes in because they knew who he was. So if he's native, I don't know, maybe somebody in chat knows more than I do about Four Corners. Maybe he is Native American, and he, that's those are the only really true sovereign citizens that I can think of in the country that actually, their own.
Unindoctrinated said he is native.
Okay, so he is native. He's Navajo. Okay, so that's what. But see, why would you?
So then, shouldn't he go before that judge?
Absolutely, he should go before that judge, and not the Farmington, New Mexico. Now, that's not to say that a sovereign citizen can just go anywhere in the United States and commit crimes. That's I mean, that's the whole thing. Like you can't just be lawless. That even sovereign citizens have their own set of rules and regulations, including on the reservations. But they have tribal councils, and it works a little different than it does in the federal court system or the state court system or the local court. So it also depends on who arrested him. Harry says, yeah, the Farmington Police Department arrested him. And I think that's the thing. It's really strange. Around the reservations, there's a lot of tension between the natives and the local police and people of that ilk, because they don't they don't follow the same rules, even though the tribal councils will recognize a lot of the same rules, but I mean, if this came up with the tribal council, I'm sure the tribal council would totally dismiss this shit, because it's I mean, traveling from point A to point B, that's what the natives used to do when they owned the land. They roamed wherever they needed to roam to survive, so, and that's actually a pillar of our laws, the ability to travel from point A to point B, with exceptions, which I take exception to. A la Border Patrol, right? They have inland 50 miles from the border, they have checkpoints, which is ridiculous. I mean, to have a checkpoint 50 miles from the border is simply astounding to me, that we allow that in this country. It's crazy. I don't think the res police have jurisdiction off the res and vice versa. 100. Oh, is it 100, Keeper? They have some 50, Keeper. Some. I think that's where I'm getting my.
Now, I'm curious. I don't know what the law is there, but what is, if found guilty, what is the sentence for this harsh crime of walking through a park?
Well,
Is there jail time?
Criminal trespass. Let's look that up. Hold on, I'll look it up.
And then here's the thing: you're already sentencing him without even trying him. From what it sounded like to me when the cop was talking to him, and I could be wrong, but it sounded like it was going to be a cite and release, to all of a sudden now you've imprisoned the man for something that you knowingly were just going to cite and release. Because I believe he said, and I could be wrong, you'd have to go back, I don't want to have to write you a citation.
Right. That's exactly what he said.
So if he said that, then it's not an imprisonment offense. Why did he take him to jail for it? Why not just cite and release and then let him fight it in court?
All right, hold on. Let's take a look at the statute here. It's okay, section 30-14-1, criminal trespass, consists of knowingly entering or remaining upon lands owned, operated, or controlled by the states or any of its political subdivisions, knowing that consent to enter or remain is denied or withdrawn by the custodian thereof. Let's look at the history or the.
Okay, but you can't prove that he knowingly entered it.
That's right.
And he obviously did not stay. He was leaving.
Right. Hold on one second here. Punishable by $1,000. Let's see. Here we go. Whoever knowingly removes, tampers, or destroys any no trespass sign, that's not applicable.
Because here's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that where he was when the cop told him to come back to his car because he was too lazy to go get it, he was already off the property.
Yeah.
So you got him to go back on. And when the supervisor comes, if that was the supervisor that arrested him, here he's still on the property, but he was only still there because he was told he had to stay there.
Here's another thing that's going to be in 4Corners corner, so to speak. Excuse the pun. For a conviction, it requires that the defendant both, quote, entered property, quote, without permission, in quotes, and, quote, damaged an improvement on the property. So I don't think there was any damage at all. Private land not posted. Okay, let's see. Proof of knowledge element in criminal trespass, where defendant was charged with criminal trespass for running through the front. Okay, that's private. We don't care.
Okay, Phyllis just explained it, so now I understand why he was arrested. He said it was the sergeant that did the arrest, and 4Corners has a bad history with that sergeant.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's why he was arrested.
Yeah, that's it. Butthurt feelings is why.
Yeah.
Why he was arrested.
But you can't take anything that happened prior to affect this situation. Anything prior has nothing to do with this.
Right. Up to a year in jail and $1,000 is the max punishment. So He's looking at. I think I would take this all the way, Ellie. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would. You know.
Now, with the res, can they still take over it, or can they defend him in this case? I'm curious. I don't know that information.
Here's auditing live. United States Border Patrol operates 71 traffic checkpoints near Mexico-U.S. border, located between 25 and 75 miles. See, so I was right. It was 50. I split the difference and said 50 auditing. Thanks for the fact check, though. But yeah, I don't know if the res can, because this was in Farmington. This was a public park in Farmington, so I don't think the res has any authority there at all.
I would like if you could bring up that park on like a Google Earth thing,
Yeah,
and I'd like to see where those signs are
yeah,
and
hold
how
on.
big they are. And I want them to be illuminated at night so you can see them.
Right. Farmington, New Mexico. Hold on. Let's see if we can find the oh, let's see if we can find parks. Let's see if we can find the parks. Berg Park doesn't look like that one. Brookside, Animus. Let's see what else we got here. Kiwanis, Northridge. Oops. Trying to find, because there was some landmarks there. There was a basketball court. Damn, there's a lot of parks in Farmington. I have no idea where he was, y'all. I'd have to go through each and every one of these. Can let me look at that. Hold on, maybe I can find out via what Heather sent me for his arrest here. Hold on. Let's take a look here. Where was he arrested? Does it say? Does not say. Oops. Yeah, it doesn't say. Doesn't say where he was. That sucks, man. I really wish. I'm looking at all the parks here. There's several. I mean, let me look at Foothills Park here. Maybe this is where he was at. This might be it. Hold on. Let's take a look at Foothills Park. No. Yeah, see, I don't know where he was arrested at, y'all. So maybe, does anybody know that was watching his live? Kip, welcome. Find the res first.
Well, I mean, I didn't see any signs,
There's a
but
church across the street.
I do wonder why the police were sitting there on this closed park.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Rules for me, but not for thee, or you know how that saying goes, Ellie. That's I was with enrolled Chippewa for 15 years. Kids don't meet the quarter threshold, so they aren't tribal. Wish they were. They would both get 100,000 at age 18. Yeah. Yeah, Heather, no problem. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it would take me forever to find find where these parks are or what this park was, because there's so many in Farmington. Farmington's a little bit bigger than what I thought. I'm just kind of going by the pictures that they're showing. But there was a public building there, Fairgrounds Park, Saddleback Park. Geez, way more. Foothills Recreational. Yeah, there's just way too many. I'm not gonna be able to find it, but I agree with you, Ellie. That the key is like finding those signs. Are they posted? Are they illuminated at night?
Are they obstructed by any trees or anything else? I mean, it has to be blatant.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was leaving. That's what I don't understand. I'd like to see where he was versus that curb and the parking lot spots. and how far down he was. He might have already have then been on the public access road. I mean, not the access road, but the actual main road there,
Yeah.
because he was pretty far away from that vehicle.
Yeah. Hey, Kip, stay safe out there, man. I know California's, going through some stuff right now. Just be completely safe, man. I know the LA greater area, a little bit south of that, San Diego, all those places are being hit.
Somebody actually accidentally got hit in chat.
Oh, that was Noel. Hopefully Noel's back.
Undo.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. Welcome, Noel, by the way. And everybody else that I missed, Squatch, nice to see you. Johnny, welcome. Plus, even if you were enrolled and lived off the res and get a case, you always have the right to switch jurisdiction over to the tribal and have the res take the case. It's your right. So maybe he can do that. Maybe he can get the reservation to see. I mean, the reservation is going to be fair. I mean, from what I gather, they're definitely going to be a lot more fair than he could get here. But I actually think if 4Corners took this all the way, even on the, I'm going to say United States side, even though it's all the United States. You guys know what I mean. I'm guessing if he took it, it would the jury would definitely find him not guilty, because I mean it's pretty blatantly obvious, right? But there's something else I need to talk about. Now I'm not one to ask for donations, and I'm not going to. But what I will say, if you see other people like gathering donations, unless it's somebody directly related to the party, a friend that's there, that can hand that money directly over, I wouldn't suggest donating to any Cash App, any Venmo, anything unless it's authorized by the party. You know what I mean? I've seen this. This is a trend that I don't like within the community. People will grift off of these things, right?
It was Brookside Park.
Brookside. Oh wow.
Yeah.
How'd you find
Heather
that?
found it.
Heather found it? How'd you find it, Heather? All right,
She said she went back and watched.
Brookside. So let's take a peek and see if we can find Brookside Park. Oh, shit.
I hope it's all fenced in, and they have video of him climbing and heaving over the fence. And good morning, Johnny.
Brookhaven. Brookhaven. We're looking for Brookside, right? Okay, let's continue on. I'm looking. There's like 4 or 5 pages of this, so bear with me, y'all. Brookside State Park. Here we go. Let's take a peek at Brookside. Let's. How do you? I'll put it up on the screen as soon.
You got to share the screen.
Yeah. Okay. I'll share the screen now. Share screen. And let's do this. Share that. Okay. So where do I get?
Okay, so let's wherever you are in the park. You got to click.
Yeah, hold on.
It was skate park. Okay, just click on the pictures where it says 11 pictures.
Okay. I don't see anything there. Wow, that's not a good pic. Oh, here's a picture. I can't really tell what it says.
Well, it doesn't say do not trespass, that's for sure.
None of the pictures that I'm looking at. Let's take a look at this. Okay, here we go. This will get us down into the park. So let's see here. Let's go back here. That's a skate park.
Let's ride the fence.
Yeah.
So far, I don't see any signs.
No signs so far. Yeah.
There's a big old opening.
Yeah. Let's go back here and let's take a peek. Oh shit! How come it?
Just swing around.
How do you? Oh.
Just click on there and turn. Keep turning.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Other way.
Yeah. Okay. So let's keep
Okay,
going.
that's still fenced.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a skate park.
Well, I think it was this building over here. So let's travel this way here. Let's continue on here. I think it happened over here by this building, but I could be completely wrong. Let's take a peek here.
That could be the parking lot.
Yep. I think that's it. That's it.
Yeah, so go in there, go in that parking lot and see where those.
If it'll let me, hold on. Yeah, I don't think it'll. It's just street side view. But
I see handicap signs because that must be the steps that it came up.
yeah, that was right here, right where the handicap sign is to the right.
And what is that? A shopping center right there?
You mean right to the left? That's a
Yes.
pool. Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, up there.
Let's go.
So it's some kind of a school or a shopping center or something.
Yeah, hold on. Looks like a little mini shopping center. Hold on. Let's go down that street. Maybe we can go down. It won't allow us to go in there, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, it will.
There you go.
There we go. Hold on.
No, turn the other way for a second.
This way?
Yeah, keep going.
All right. Let's continue. Let's just
See, depending on where he was parked, he could very well have been on this part of the sidewalk, and he got him to go back on there. That's what I was trying to see.
Wait a minute. Are these the steps right here?
No, because it had. I saw the parking spaces.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If you go back down, go the other way.
The other way. Okay. Hold
Yeah.
on. So, oops. It goes the opposite of what's intuitive.
I know. First day with Google.
Stop it.
I got you.
How dare you? Oh.
Oh, you messed it up.
I did. I messed it up. Okay. Here we go. Oops. There we go. Let's see. I don't know that kind of.
No, it's not that because there was parking spots.
All right. Let's go back.
Keep going down a little bit more. Now turn to your right a little. See, I think this was the parking lot.
And that's the steps right there, right?
Right. So
No.
by this point,
No. It was on the other side of this building right here. You see that building? There's a pool there. Here, I'll show you where it was. Hold on. I see. All right, hold on. Let's get there. We got to get there. We got to travel, folks. Sorry. We can't go in here, can we? No. Okay. Oh, let's go back because there was that sign. Hold on.
see, there's parking spots right there. So there's more than one parking lot.
Yeah, hold on. I don't do PC gaming, otherwise this would.
Well, I remember seeing the orange on the curbage.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it's those steps right there, just before where that red car is.
Yep, it's over here.
So they're parked there. So he's walking away. He might not have been out, but he's close to being out.
Yeah.
I'm making him nervous. Stop it, Jen.
Nobody makes me nervous, Jen, except cops with guns, which is all of them. There's the skate park. So yeah, it has to be,
But I don't see any big giant signs that say parked closed at this time.
Nothing.
No illumination, nothing on the fence. So depending on where you come in.
Well, there's a sign right here, but I can't get in.
Well,
there.
that's probably a no parking sign.
Let's see. Let me see if we can't zoom in on it.
But even then, you can't see. Look how low that is.
I know. See,
who's reading that?
Nobody's reading that. Yeah. See, there's no signage here, so I mean, this would be a pretty easy one, I think, to take to court. I'm hoping 4Corners will, will take this all the way and not take a plea deal. I wouldn't take a plea deal on this. Strange says he just looked it up. It's Navajo Nation trust land, so it's a weird gray area for res and no res cops. Yeah, see, they got to draw the lines, man. They got to like, really, really make it very clear what's res and what isn't for these things. But So I guess the bottom line here, I think we're all in agreement. I think this was a sham BS arrest, especially since there's history between the cop and Four Corners. I think it was completely disrespectful for the cop to say sovereign citizen. I mean, you
Yeah, that's kind of insulting, to be honest with you, because at no point did he allude to the fact that he was a sovereign citizen. He didn't say, "I have ID, I'm not giving it to you." He didn't say any of that. He said, "You know my name, and I want to speak with your sergeant." Well,
yeah, and
actually, he didn't say sergeant. He wanted to speak to a higher up.
yeah, he wanted superior. I think is the I
Yeah.
need your superior. Yeah, there, so,
No, he did not allude to the fact, hint around in any way, or make it appear that he was a sovereign citizen at any point.
right, and here's the thing. You Yeah, about the arrest itself, it's so weird. And I don't even think he should have gotten a ticket. To be honest with you, he was leaving. I mean, what is someone's definition of leaving? Is there any definition of if somebody says they're leaving, which the cop definitely acknowledged?
Well, he turned in the direction to leave and he was moving in a forward position. That's
Yeah,
leaving. That is
right,
the definition of leaving in his actions. And he said, "Come back here," multiple times. "Come back here to my car.
right.
Come back here to my car." So he's already leaving. And he admitted that he said he was leaving, and his actions showed that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got to say on this one, eh, being a jury, I'd have to find him not guilty.
I would agree with you, Ellie, 100%. Phyllis says, "I'm sure Corners will take it all the way to he normally does." Okay, so I mean, I don't know the entire history of Four Corners. I know him peripherally.
Yes, Razor, but the squirrel wasn't arrested. See?
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Jonathan says, "I'm convinced unlawful arrest 100%." I agree. I mean, I initially when I saw it, but I always like to take a look at it a second time, Ellie, because sometimes you you see something and then you form an opinion right away, right? So it's incumbent to at least take another look, get full context. I wanted to get before and after. There's no after in this case. It's just arrest.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it the first, but this was the first time that I saw it. But I mean, to me, he never said, "I'm refusing to leave." He never said, I'm not going." He didn't say, "I have the right to be here. You can't tell me what to do." He's like, "Okay, I'm leaving." But they kept talking to him. "What's your name?" So it's kind of like when you have five cops and they're all telling you something at a different, to do differently at the same time.
Right.
What direction do you want? Do you want them to stop to talk to you about this and that, I want to speak to a superior, or do you want them to keep walking? I mean, all you had to do was let him keep walking.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do, and he would have been gone. But then you tell him to come back multiple times to show that he was leaving.
I don't even think a citation was warranted in this case, Ellie.
No, because when you tell him to come back, that means you're addressing the fact that he's leaving.
Right. That's right. I mean, now I don't think that there's a civil lawsuit involved here other than the time he spent in jail once once he's found not guilty. I mean, I don't see that the cops roughed him up. I don't see, of course we don't have that video. I don't know if New Mexico has body cams. I sure hope so. Because then we can figure out more. I'm sure Four Corners will let us know. Yeah, not guilty equals lawsuit. I'm pretty sure. Press for transparency goes out with Four Corner. Okay, cool. Anyone there to take pics around there for signs before they post them?
Well, actually, they would be able to. It doesn't even matter if they put up signs now because they're dated on when they go up.
Yeah, Keeper. There's at least here in Colorado, because there was questions of this, like the city of Denver put up signs like no trespassing signs and no parking signs, but they were completely illegal because you have to have a special sticker on the back. So there's a process of putting up signs just for this reason. So that way the city can't just erect signs and say, "Oh, you broke the law." That there's a reason that it has to go through this whole process. I'm pretty sure it's the same way in New Mexico. So I just don't understand. I swear that in Farmington, I've seen Navajo Nation police. My brother lives in Cortez, and we always go to Farmington when I visit him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They do have body cams on Indoctrinated Said. Okay, so that's perfect. I mean, I think if Four Corners has the means, I think he should take this all the way. And I think absolutely what Ellie is saying is correct. Um, if you're a member of the jury, you're definitely going to dismiss this case, not guilty.
Now, I'm sure there's going to be trolls that'll say, well, they told him to leave. He should have just run out of there.
No,
But listen, he was moving forward, and he would have moved forward, I'm sure, even quicker if they weren't blocking the stairway.
right.
Because there were two cops blocking the stairway. And, how do you see when you have a light flashed in your eyes like that? There's got to be some kind of adjustment, but you don't want to turn your backs on them because then you don't know what can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're in a park in the dark, ain't nobody going to see.
One thing, Keeper, you're funny. One thing that I think that if you can afford it, they have these 360 cameras that are available. I know SGV uses them. I like SGV for entertainment purposes. I don't think he's like a freedom fighter per se or anything. But I do appreciate the fact that he has a 360 camera, because that right there is a really good thing to have in your favor, just for what you said, Ellie. If you turn your back to a cop, at least you have a record. Now that could be a fatal mistake, so I would never recommend turning your back on a cop at all. If they have you surrounded, that's one thing. I've been in situations where there have been eight cops around me, and there's no way I could video all of them at once unless I had that 360 camera. So,
but it takes one just to bump you, and then they say you assaulted them.
absolutely,
It takes just that split second. So, I
yeah,
mean, if I were him, I would have backed out of there too. And you have to use extreme caution. You have two people with weapons.
absolutely,
you know
100%.
so extreme caution is definitely recommended and needed in this situation. But again, he was leaving. I could not imagine in any circumstance where they told him to come back. They admitted that he said he was leaving. He was
Yeah.
in a forward position when they made him come back, that any jury honestly could sit there and say that he was guilty. I just
Yeah.
don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. Janet Manson, welcome on in to chat. We're discussing the arrest of Four Corners last night in Farmington, New Mexico, which is close to Colorado, fairly close. Phyllis says James Freeman has covered Four Corners for a long time. They took down the whole police department last year. So that's probably why they have such a hard-on for Four Corners, Phyllis. Anytime that you show... anytime you show any type of resistance to their authority, they get really upset, and you have to be on notice. I've dealt with it. KDOT has dealt with it. They've doxed me. They've tried to intimidate me. I think at this point, though, they know me well enough that I tread very, very carefully. I don't. I don't mince words with them, but I don't put myself in a position to tangle with them. Standing Tall, you're on the show. What's up, man? How are you doing?
All right. Thanks for having me there, bro. So I've been on the phone with the San Juan
Wait, do you
County.
do you know you have your camera on? I mean, you can. I just don't know if you did or not. It's up to you.
I'm dumber than dirt. I don't know how to shut this thing off.
No worries,
That
Standing
makes it,
Tall.
yeah, I don't know how to shut it off. You guys just going to have to stare at my pretty face a little bit, okay?
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
No worries. She was just making you aware, Standing Tall. That's all. So,
Oh, San Juan County. Oh, man.
You're
Probably loud.
there. You go.
Can you hear me okay?
There you go. That's better. That's better. You're good there, Standing
Let
Tall.
me just set you right there and leave you there. Let me grab these
Okay.
notes.
Yeah.
All right. So I've been on the phone with the San Juan County Jail. They arrested him at the Brookside Park for trespassing, is what the notes say. I do have his first and last name now. And when
We don't want to put that out.
I'm not.
Let's
I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying I have the info. I'm trying to get the
Right,
bell
okay.
amount at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
But because of their system, so there's nobody in the office to talk to when you call the detention center. It refers you to a website. That website is the www.sjcounty.net/departments. And then you got to click on the adult detainees, right? Well,
Yeah.
then when you get into that section, it asks for a bunch of info. Part of that info is his name, but the other part is booking number. So
Mhm.
I tried to use the arrest number that I got from dispatch, and it's not working. It
Yeah.
might be tomorrow before we can find out any bail information for him.
Yeah. I
Well,
think.
we
Yeah.
did find out that it was listed his bail as 0 until he goes in front of the judge.
Yeah. Yeah. Until
Oh,
he sees a judge. Yeah.
okay. I've not seen
Yeah.
that. So, all right.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
So, Jonathan Mazzilli, by the way, says handsome devil. So, Jonathan at least
He's
appreciates.
crushing on you.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Like when the bail is set, right? There's got to be somebody close to Four Corners, whether it's family member or somebody that he rolls with. Like for me, it would be KDOT, right? I would expect people to
Right.
go to KDOT and donate to his Cash App or whatever as an authorized
Right.
person to get my ass out of jail, right? But anybody else pretending, right? There's a lot of pretenders that will have their own thing, and then they will say, "Well, donate to me, and I'll make sure that so and so gets it." I wouldn't trust any of that. I don't. I
Right.
don't. I don't. You know that to
Right.
me.
I'm absolutely with you. I'll be honest with you. I reached out to, I know that Tapatios reached out to you. I reached out to Tapatios because I knew that Four Corner was a mod on his channel and what have you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought that they knew a little bit more info about each other than they did. At
Yeah.
this point, I'm trying to find somebody who knows more about Four Corners than, I mean, I just found out his name today, just trying
Yeah.
to help the guy out. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. See,
We need to find somebody that's down there with him that can help him out. The only person I know of who knows any of that info is Freeman. So if anybody can get some word to Freeman, he might be able to help him.
Yeah, Phyllis said that same exact thing as you said it, standing tall. She says, "I'm sure James Freeman will be there." And see, but see, here's the thing: James Freeman's got a huge channel, right? So he's going to get all these
Right.
donations poured in. What happens with those donations that go be above and beyond? You know what I'm saying? Above and beyond the bail. That's
Right.
if it was cut off, like if the bail was 1,500, let's say, which seems to be about the norm, then I would say, which by the way, 1,500 would equate to what, $150
About
from
150.
yeah.
Right. Yeah,
So
10%.
yeah, 10%. So
Some bail
I mean,
bondsmen, some areas might charge a little more than that. I know over here in Utah, they do the 10% thing, but
yeah,
they also, if it's under a certain amount, then they have a fee, which is like an extra $50. So it
yeah.
turns out to being like a $1,500 bail, still going to be like $200. So,
Okay. Well, I mean, either case, it's an amount that could definitely be handled by a channel that big. I mean, I can
oh yeah,
as small as my channel is, I could I could definitely raise that money. But see, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling people not even to trust me with something like that.
yeah,
If I
no,
met you,
me either. I don't have any info for the guy. I'm
right,
trying to find his info for, to help him,
right,
not to capitalize. I don't want
right.
anything from him.
You see, that's the thing, and I'm sure Four Corners would appreciate this live, me telling people that. You know what I mean? Like only trust the people that are closest to you. Johnny says MLH and Ellie have my permission for that too. Okay, Johnny. Now that I know that we have your permission, if you ever get in trouble, we'll raise money for you, man. I mean, if you get arrested, I mean, but let's not see. The goal is never to get arrested. that's something else.
Well, and I agree 100%. The goal is always to never get arrested. Unfortunately, with Four Corners, from what I saw, he had no choice. The problem is he questioned the authority, and that was the no-no. Don't question the authority. That's it. You're arrested.
Yeah.
Not what's your problem. You asked to speak with a supervisor. How can I help? Nope. You go to jail.
You're arrested. Yep.
So here's some advice for anybody that's out there that's going to be doing stuff like Four Corners did. And we hear it from Rogue Nation. We hear it from a lot of other people, and I'm going to advocate the same thing. Okay. The moment they threaten to trespass you, okay, at that point, you've been threatened with a lawful command, and that's a violation. You do not have to take the ride to have that violation. You now have a way to go complain. You now have a reason to make further steps. What's her name? Furry Potato just last night was calling people out saying, hey, if you're going to be doing activism, then follow through. And I'm as guilty as the next guy for a lot of not follow through. So I'm going to be changing that on my own aspect. So we all need to do that as well. But we don't need to take a ride in order to do that follow through.
But here's the thing. He didn't want to take the ride. He was leaving.
No, not at all.
Yeah, in most cases, what you're saying, standing tall, most cases, that's absolutely correct. You don't need to. You just leave. But in this case, this is a different case. He had no choice. There was no choice.
The only thing he could have done differently was to have not asked for a supervisor.
Right.
That's the only thing he could have done differently. But who are they to say that he can't question the officers? Maybe he wasn't questioning. I mean, they're assuming what he was questioning. I would think if I were him, I'm going to question you calling me a sovereign citizen. That's what I'm questioning.
Absolutely.
I'm going to question the disrespectfulness of how you handle this, not the fact that you asked me to leave.
Right.
So I got something on that. So here's my question. Okay. If Four Corner is a registered, recognized member of a sovereign nation like the Navajo Nation, how does that apply to calling him a sovereign citizen?
That's right.
Because he's sovereign of the nation that he belongs to?
Yeah.
No, he's just throwing insults. He's trying to be an ass. Oh, yeah, we got the sovereign citizen here. All points bold. And everybody get your weapons out. This is serious.
Right.
The only sovereign citizens in America wear a badge. They represent a thin blue line, and they get their sovereign citizen card under the guise of qualified immunity.
Absolutely. Luckily, in Colorado, no qualified immunity, standing tall. And I think
I know. Believe me, we're over here in Utah. We're 10th Circuit as well. So every ruling that goes down in your guys' district applies here.
Utah. Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Let me go through the chat here. Lou, welcome to chat. I don't know if I greeted you. Jonathan's daughter's in chat. What's up, Jonathan's daughter? Nice to have you in here. Everybody, be nice.
Jen just put a link in, I believe, with Phyllis's recommendation. And if I'm correct, thank you, Phyllis. She just put a link in for Four Corners Dad's YouTube video.
Yeah.
So if everybody comes up to that, that would be awesome.
Keeper says, MLH, if you ever get arrested, don't worry. I will look out for Bernie. How dare you? Keeper? The ideal, Noel said the ideal is not to get arrested. The threat of arrest is sufficient injury. Absolutely. That's what we say all the time. Official Lone Wolf of Arizona, Jose G. Welcome to chat, man. Nice to have you back in here. What else do we got? Sounds like the time Acura Amanda was arrested for jaywalking when she crossed the street lawfully in a marked crossing. Absolutely. It's just it was really strange. No, we watched the video. My dad's been teaching me about the Liberty Movement. Well, good, Jonathan's daughter. Make sure you listen to your dad. He knows what he's talking about. He's been around. All that good fun stuff. Yin Yang. Man, welcome to chat, man. Been a long time, man. Nice to have you in here. Four Corners also has a regular 9 to 5 job. Yeah, I mean, look, any which way Bernie's in chat. What's up, Bernie? Any which way they can to get you unindoctrinated, they will certainly take advantage. I mean, and they obviously know who he is, so they know he has a job. They know that this is going to be a disruption in his life, but they don't really care. That's the whole point. But I'm look. There's a point when we have to recognize things for what they are. We've done several videos where I felt that the auditor in question has actually broken the law, and we got to call a spade a spade. And here we're calling a spade a spade. Four Corners did nothing wrong here. I don't see one thing that he did wrong. He was right in asking for a supervisor. He was right in his ability to walk from point A to point B, regardless if it was a park that was closed at 10. You are allowed to walk through a park, whether it be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning to get to your point of destination. There's no, there should be no hindrance to that. As a matter of fact, I think the police violated his rights in preventing him from doing that. So there's a lot to say there. Standing Tall, you wanted to say?
Yeah, so listen, if you all go back to the very beginning of his video, and you watch where it starts with him finding a police car parked on the side of a road.
Right, we saw that.
And he goes looking for those police.
Mm-hmm.
He's there all the way around conducting a First Amendment protected activity. He is trying to gather news information as to why those police are there.
Well,
so
wait
with
a
that
minute.
in mind,
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Let's not assume that's what he was doing. Let's not assume that's what he was doing.
Fair enough.
Maybe what he was doing was he was worried about the officer's safety because here's their vehicle left unattended running someplace, and he wants to go through and make sure that they're okay.
Right.
Because
but here's
something
my
could
point
happen
in what
to
I'm
him.
getting at. The legal maxim is called first in time, first in line. And what that legal maxim is in reference to is when you come upon conflicting laws, okay, you go to the first law, and that's the first one that you go to. First in time, first in line.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
The very first law we're dealing with right now is the First Amendment of the United States Constitution,
which
says Congress shall make no laws. So it doesn't matter if there is a law there that says he's trespassing after a certain time.
Right.
The mere fact that he is gathering information for news, and he's disseminating that live at the time, means that he was engaged in a First Amendment protected activity, and no laws beyond that should be applied.
I agree with that philosophically, Standing Tall, but the problem is he would have to take this all the way to the Supreme Court to prove that point. You know what I'm saying? And unless you're a millionaire or a billionaire, I mean, it most likely. And besides, do you think the Supreme Court, as it's constituted now, would take that case up? I mean,
no, I don't think they would.
I don't think they would either. That's the whole thing.
I need to throw something in there, okay? Nobody believed Mr. Miranda in Arizona when he complained about being arrested and being guiled into making his confession. And they wouldn't let Mr. Miranda even have paper. So when he wrote his lawsuit, he wrote that on toilet paper. And the Supreme Court ended up accepting that toilet paper lawsuit. And because of that, we now have what we refer to as the Miranda warnings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all things are, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Do I think that they're going to do something? No, I don't think they're going to bust a grape to help us in any way.
Right.
However, unless we all make the effort, nothing will change.
Right. And you know what? In the advent of like GoFundMe's and stuff, I mean, things are possible nowadays. You know, it is, even though it's a remote thing, I don't think it's going to get to that point, Standing Tall. I think I think this case, if from what I'm gathering from chat, by the way, welcome McDonald. Nice to have you in here. Look at this handsome devil McDonald, man. I mean, how could you not like a face like that? But look, I think it's not going to get to that in this case. I think what Elliot said is absolutely 100. I think at the local level, that there's no jury. I don't believe, unless it's a jury of bootlickers, which there are a lot of those out there.
They
But
try to make them that way.
right, I don't believe that this guy, Four Corners, is going to be guilty of anything in this particular case, and
Or maybe he's guilty and can't be guilty of the Good Samaritan Act, that he was just trying to look out for the officer's safety, because why would there be a running vehicle in a parking lot with no lights on except for the interior thing in a dark place?
See,
He's just looking after his safety, and he's got to be protected by that.
That's what I'm saying,
Absolutely.
Ellie. If that's another defense of his, because I could easily see that. I mean, if I was doing cop watching, Ellie, and standing tall, let's say I'm out and about, right, in my imaginary car because I don't have a car yet. Let's say let's say I'm driving around, right, and I happen to see the same thing in a park. And of course I would be curious, right? I mean, for one, I want to make sure that my public servants are doing their job and not sitting around wasting money. As a matter of fact, I got a reputation at the beginning of this channel to scatter cops. I used to, I mean, you can look at my beginning videos, they hated me. I found them everywhere and scattered them because all they were doing was sitting there, right? So of course my curious nature would be to go and find out what the hell these cops were doing, right? So I would get there, and if I didn't see a cop in there, I'd be like, well, that's really weird. And then I would investigate. That would be my first thing as kind of a citizen journalist, right? I'm now into an investigation as to what's going on, right?
Yep.
So now I'm looking around. What if I found a cop like shot dead near a lake? You see, Ellie's rationale there is 100% correct. Now it becomes something completely different, right? So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Noel says, is an imaginary car measured using imaginary numbers? Yes, Noel. Although the imaginary car I have now definitely has definite specifications, and I should have it within 2 to 3 weeks, I'm hoping. I'm really hoping.
And I know nobody has heard him say that before.
Yeah, like 4 weeks ago, I was saying the same thing. How dare you, Ellie, bring that up? It pains me every day that I don't have a car. It's coming, I promise. He's out in a boot, Newfoundland car. Keeper says. Fab Daddy says district court. Yes, I am happy. Welcome to chat. Nice to have you in here. Only reason, no way, Ellie. Correct again. Jen says. Johnny says, only reason I was allowed a jury was because a second charge was added in Sheridan. Otherwise, judge would have made that decision. Fab is probably right. Did you know that every American citizen has a duty to serve, kind of like a cop has a duty as well? The only problem is, McDonald, we would...
That's where the Good Samaritan Act comes in.
Yep, the Good Samaritan Act.
Absolutely.
Right. Yep. Only difference is, McDonald, we don't abuse our powers when we use them. You know what I'm saying? Russian, I don't even know what that means. Keeper. Russian Lodas, is that a car? Ladas? I don't know what that is. Get back to work, Strange. Nice to have you in here, Strange. Thanks for stopping by, man. Okay. So I guess the fitting conclusion is we're all in agreement. Four Corners did nothing wrong here. As a matter of fact, he did almost everything right. I mean, I would say the only thing is like when I would have asked, am I free to go? Am I being detained, or am I free to go? And if they say you're free to go, well, then you're free to stay, right? Okay, so
Right.
that's one little caveat to everything, but I think he handled himself perfectly. The only other thing that I could say to a little bit of advice for anybody that's doing cop watching or auditing, if you have a chance to leave, like once he was on his way out, I would have left And then if they
Yeah,
would have,
he shouldn't have hesitated. That would be the only thing that I would say is that he started out. He could have said everything he said, while slowly walking backwards and documenting and
yeah,
leading the puppies, as we say.
Hey, McDonald. Well, see, now I don't necessarily think that he had the opportunity or that they gave him the opportunity to leave before he did. Because remember, they were blocking the steps when they said it multiple times. He said, I'm telling you for the second
Right.
time, but you're blocking the steps. So the minute you stepped away from
Right.
the steps, he was able to get up there and he turned to the right and he was walking away. They made him come back. My thing would
Right.
have been, you told me to leave, so I am leaving. And then let him arrest him at that point.
yeah.
Not go
Right.
back to the car.
There
That
was
I would
a,
not have done.
I would not have done that either. There's a small, that was the small sliver I was going to talk about, Ellie. Right there, that's the opportunity to leave. And then if they arrest you at that time, then it's on them. You have all
Well,
the proof.
he did ask them, "Are you giving me a lawful command?" And they said yes.
Yeah,
So
Right.
at that
And he
point,
said,
they
with the
brought
threat
him
of
back.
arrest, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he said. To me, he didn't do anything wrong except for the fact that he wasn't clear enough when he said, no, you told me to leave and now you're asking me to come back on property that you just said that
Exactly.
you're trespassing me from.
Right,
I
right.
can't do that. I would have said that.
Yeah,
You know,
Right.
but it's easy to say what we would have done. We weren't in the situation,
right.
you know, and
in the
it is
moment.
dark. And here he's got these people with guns. So, you know, I don't want to be too judgmental with it because at the end of the day, I'm being a jury watching this.
Right.
And I have to say that he's not guilty because you acknowledged that he was leaving
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Twice you acknowledged. You acknowledged by saying to come back. And you acknowledged by saying you said you were leaving. Well, not only did he say he was doing it, you made him come back, remember?
Yeah.
So as a jury,
And
I
he was
can't see.
also, them officers also gave him further permission to stick around when he said, "Can I get the unit number?" And they said, "Go right ahead."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Go right ahead. Yep. They gave him permission. So, I mean,
I just don't see, you know, and listen, I try to be as critical as I can because I always want to look at what the worst case scenario is.
yeah.
But I honestly don't see it with this case.
Yeah.
I just don't. He didn't do anything wrong.
I hope 4 Corners is as what do I say? Like how people in chat were saying that he does take things all the way. I hope in this case he definitely takes it all the way because I think there's 0% chance. Well, there's always that, 10% chance at the very least that a jury.
Well, if he gets a judge.
Yeah, if he doesn't get a jury. Well, but then there's always appeals, right? I would definitely
Well,
appeal.
so it's trespassing. I don't know how it falls in Denver. With a trespassing charge, what kind of jury would he get? I know in Utah for a lower court thing like that, more than likely it's not going to be a jury trial.
Yeah.
And if you do get a jury trial, it's only going to be a 6-person jury trial.
Okay. Well,
Well, you
still,
can have 6 possible stupid people that would watch that video and say, yes, from the video, we can see a sign that says that the park is closed. We can see his clock that he knew what time it was, because remember, it has to be intentional.
right.
Right.
And that
Right.
he refused to leave, which at no time did he. So all of the
Not
things
once.
that they would have to prove their case, they have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, their elements
I
are
can't
sorely
believe
lacking.
even with bootlickers, you can't possibly have 6 stupid people sitting
Yeah.
in one area that would look at that and say
Yeah.
he was guilty. You can't.
I think
Never been to Provo, Utah, have you?
No, I haven't. But
Sorry.
listen, I guess there's always a chance. But it just
Mormon country, man. Mormon country.
very disheartening if you can find those 6 stupid people all at the same time.
Hey, Phyllis, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it, Phyllis.
No, I'm in agreement with you there, Ellie.
Yeah. Keeper says 37,000 for a Lada when the ruble was 42 cents. It's at 0.01 minus right now. Wow. So you can get one really cheap now, I guess. I'm not getting a Lada. I'm getting a Toyota Prius, which costs about what you said there, Keeper. So, okay. Let's do final thoughts and get the hell out of here. I'm getting kind of hungry. I need to eat. Ellie, you're Actually, Standing Tall, thanks for being on the show. This impromptu deal that I have here, and before anybody kills me, I just want to say I'm not doing this for clicks and views. I thought it was pretty important because somebody brought it to my attention. So, Standing Tall, thanks for being on. What do you have to say? Anything you want to plug? Any final thoughts? Good Citizen
No,
Media.
I just want to say the same thing. As soon as we can get Four Corner out and getting him taken care of, my coverage of this will go into a members only area. I don't want to profit on any of it. If it looks like that, I'll even pull that stream down. I don't think any of us that are really truly out here trying to make a difference. I don't think any of us want to profit off each other. I think that it's all about really helping each other out. Utah Cop Watch, without hesitation, he heard that I was in jail. He came down, he bailed me out. He used his own money. He didn't fundraise for it or anything. Innocent Auditor, he's the same guy here, same way here in Utah. Those two guys are people that I trust to raise money for me, and I'm sure they would trust me to raise money for them. But
Yeah,
we've worked together. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and that's I'm with MLH on this. And Tapatios is the same way. He doesn't want to profit off of this at all. So it's all about just getting some help for a fellow human being who is out there standing for our rights, and he got hemmed up for it. So if we can help out, let's do so.
Yeah. I agree. Denver, it's a little different. A lot of grifters around these parts. That's why I trust KDOT, and KDOT trusts me, and that's about it. It's like I agree with you, Standing Tall. Have a very small circle of people that you can deal with. If not, then I don't know what to say. But Ellie, your final thoughts on this arrest, and anything else? Any observations or anything else that you want to?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that Four Corners did it for rights. I think he did it as in the Good Samaritan. He cared about where's the welfare of this occupants of this vehicle that's running and is unmanned. And, he went and searched to make sure that they were okay. And I think it's a shame that he got bamboozled just because he asked questions. And it was obviously apparent that he was leaving and wasn't questioning anything. And you saw the cop lie multiple times. And I just think it's ridiculous. And, if anybody has any contact with anybody in that area, I'm not encouraging any calls. I'm just saying maybe reach out to somebody. And I think these charges should be absolutely dropped because I find it really offensive.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Anything you want to plug, Standing Tall, before we get out of here, and then I'll give my final thoughts, and then we'll
I just want to say that I'm going to be down in the Denver area here in a couple weeks. I'm going to be down there looking. So if any of you, I'm going to be at Thornton. Thornton, I guess, is the suburb.
I know where
If
Thornton
any
is.
of you folks down in Denver want to get with me, I'm really looking forward to meeting some of you. Hopefully, that Monday.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
And one more
And
thing.
I'll reach out and give you the date better, but it's about 2-3 weeks away right now.
all right, Ellie.
After this live is over, Harry Nuts is going to be at a car show going live. So if anybody's interested in that, head over to Harry Nuts' channel.
Yeah. All right. I'm famous for all. Another thing I'm famous for, maybe infamous, I don't know, is promoting other channels. Kip LA has graciously put Four Corners link in the chat. Make sure you sub to Four Corners, Fist in the Air, 54. Dating yourself there, Four Corners. Four Corners is more than welcome to come on the channel, discuss anything, obviously, and welcome to talk about it. I don't think we did him a disservice today. I think, matter of fact, I think we've given him several paths of getting out of this frivolous, dumb arrest, in my opinion and the panel's opinion. Let's see, what else do I got? Oh yeah, make sure you, like Ellie said, go over to Harry's channel. He's going to be at a car show. Harry does a great job, and he always has something interesting on his channel. Check it out for sure. As soon as I get my car, which hopefully will be within the next 2 weeks. I know I've been saying that for what, a month now. But I will be going out doing. You know what? I'm gonna have to stick it to a schedule. Uh, Stick to a schedule to do homeless outreach because my food source has run dry, so to speak. So it's all going to come out of my pocket, but I'll do it at least. I promise you guys, I'll do homeless outreach at least once a month, maybe twice a month, depending on things. But just want to let you know that I will be back out there doing cop watches. I will be doing auditing. I will be doing homeless outreach as much as I humanly can do. John Eagle, I appreciate you, man. He's got a great channel too. Check him out. MLH helped me get to 500 subs back in the day. Mad respect. See, people like John Eagle, man. I've helped several people like that meet.
Oh yeah, he helped me get 1,000.
Oh, I
Now
remember
look
that.
where I'm at.
Yeah. There you go. Now you're up to what, 9? Over 9, Sandy?
Yeah, I'm almost to 10.
Yeah,
Pretty close.
Let's get Standing Tall to 10. He deserves it. Does good work. Okay. What else we got here? Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much for joining. You guys have a great rest of your weekend or great rest of your Sunday. Be safe out there. If you're struggling with your mental health, please reach out to somebody that you know, love, and trust. In lieu of that, my email is mexicanlonghair@gmail.com. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or a counselor, but I do listen. Sometimes that's all that matters. But if I don't get you back to you in a timely fashion, just remember this: somebody out there thinks you're their favorite. There's also a 988 hotline that you can call to talk to somebody that is a professional. Or if you're uncomfortable talking with somebody, you can also message that number, and that will help you as well. Jen put a crisis text line in there at 741-741 and crisistextline.org. And there's many other resources like mentalhealthchat.org and others on your browser of choice. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks for. I'd like to thank the panelist, Ellie. Thank you for being up here and standing tall. Sub to standing tall. Let's get him closer to 10,000. And everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. See you guys on the next video. Later, everybody.
Add love and respect. 4Corners.